Obtained by TMZ, Cardi is seeking primary physical custody as well as legal custody of their...
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Blab Up. You know what time it is. Yeah. Told you guys about obviously Cardi B and Offset. Now you might have seen my first video I did yesterday night. We're going to talk about obviously the fact that the divorce is happening and why potentially it's happening. Apparently, Mr. Offset has potentially been doing what he does best, which is sexting. I don't know. Alright guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. You know what I mean? Send them back to the manufacturer. You don't know. Alright, cool. So, talking about obviously the Cardi B and Offset situation, you guys might watch my first video where I broke it down. But here we're going to talk about, say, you know, Offset... and I said it in the first video that potentially the reason why that Cardi B is filing for divorce is because more than likely this guy has gone and done something again. Something this time that Cardi B just can't take. Something this time that Cardi B said, listen, enough's enough. Something that Cardi B has said to herself, listen, do you know what? I'm more grown than this. Do you know what? I deserve better than this. Do you know what? I need more than this. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want again to let you guys know something. The strength is in walking away. The power is in walking away. The minerals is in you saying to yourself, I don't need this. What I need is this. And the power to deny what you wanted rather than what you needed is critical to having a happier life. Okay. Now life has ups and downs. Yes, we don't disagree that. But some ups and some downs are really not necessary. Offset is one of those downs that are not necessary. Why? Because he's not treating her with the compassion, the love, the respect that she deserves, as any woman deserves. All right. Now, irrespective of what you think about Cardi B, men especially who are listening to this, and women who are internalizing misogyny, irrespective of the fact that whether you liked her song lyrics at WAP, where she said, listen, you know, I don't cook, I don't clean, got the, you know what I mean, so let me tell you how I got this ring. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether she said those bars or not, the fact that you may want to agree and say, well, you know, because you said those lyrics, that's why the man did. Listen, men cheat unprovoked. They don't need a reason to cheat. Yeah, and the very fact that you begin to say that because she was a stripper, because she was sexual, because she was because she did songs like WAP and that, because she was overtly too much, that's the reason why Offset cheated on her. Offset cheated because he could, and I'll break it down why he did. He cheated because he could. What you need to understand is no cooking, no cleaning, no good sex. Yeah. No amount of money you can bring to the table is going to stop that person cheating. Do you know why? Because it's about him. It's about his selfishness. It's about his inability to think about us as a team, but think about himself and his balls. That's got nothing to do with your good sex, nothing to do with your good cooking, good to do with your affection. You can do all of the perfect things. You can do everything right. The Bible lets us know that Jesus Christ was perfect, and yet what happened to him? Crucified. You don't need a reason. These men don't need a reason except for what's inside of them.
Together with her, you ended up on stage. Do you feel like that was something that you regret, or do you... I know I'm asking a tough question. If you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are thinking that if I cook or I clean or, you know, I give him good sex, he won't cheat on me, listen up very well. He will still cheat if he wants to cheat. Do you understand? But let's break it down. I'm going to read, obviously, Cardi B's thing from The Sun as well, because... So I'm going to read this as well. So this is from The Sun as well. The Sun confirmed that the WAP rapper filed for divorce in Fulton County Superior Court in Georgia on Tuesday. A friend of Cardi B revealed to The Sun that she couldn't take his alleged wandering eye anymore and decided to end their relationship. Everyone saw the split coming, and those close to Cardi are so proud of her for finally saying enough is enough, the source revealed. Let me just break it down here, yeah? She had enough, allegedly, of his wandering eye. Look, you have to understand, Offset hasn't changed, Offset hasn't turned himself off from being single. He's always been single in a relationship. The marriage was a good look. It was a business move. It was nice while it lasted, but his heart was never in the marriage. What do I mean by that? Not that he didn't love Cardi, not that he didn't love what they were about, but the truth of the matter is that he hasn't worked on himself. The truth of the matter is he hasn't come to terms with the fact that giving up all this power. You see, a lot of musicians, sportsmen and people that are famous and have money have access to women. Okay, the money, the money and the fame gives them power, and it is hard to unhook yourself from the dosage of power that you get from having women on tap. No matter how buff they are, ask Jay-Z. No matter how peng they are, ask Jay-Z. No matter how lively they are, ask Jay-Z. No matter how much of a great musician they are, ask Jay-Z. No matter how much money they have of their own, ask Jay-Z. It don't make a difference for them, because so long as they got money and so long as they got fame, they've got power. And what power gives you access to, is has the ability to influence many people. Now imagine yourself as this. Many women are coming towards you, and the problem here and the difference between men and women is this: men are entitled, women are not. Due to society that we live in called patriarchy. You hear me say this all the time. Due to a patriarchal society where men are put on top. And I would even say that the fact that the Bible lets us know that a woman will pine after her husband. Genesis 3. Go and read it. Don't fight me. It says a woman will pine after her husband. So a woman will go after her husband. When I mean go after, I don't mean chase. But the fact is she will submit after the husband. She wants the husband to lead her. Right? In most cases. Right? She wants a man to rule over thee. And when the word rule isn't dominion here. The word rule is to lead. You understand? And the leadership, we are told and showed how to lead. Okay, we lead like Christ. Now, is Offset leading Cardi B like Christ? No. Because would Christ cheat on us? No. Would Christ demean us? No. Would Christ disrespect us? No. How does Christ lead? In love. And how does that love exist? In servitude. I do to you as I want to be done to me. You understand? And the Bible says that God loved us first. So, you know what? God loved us first. You know, so deep it, the behaviors of Christ are what a man should be ascribing to. Now, Offset is not producing that because something is in defect. What's the defect here? The love of power. Now, someone said the love of money is the root of all evil. Money also represents power. It's a tool to access power. So you have to understand that the lovers of money, many evils come out of that. Right? And so these guys who are entitled due to the society hierarchy have a sense of entitlement that they can do whatever they want. Because why? There's no consequences. If Cardi B does what he is doing, she gets slated, called a hoe. Look at how you guys even treat her with WAP. At the moment that women even start talking about sex, y'all start getting into your feelings in your bag. You understand? Even women themselves start to condemn Cardi B. Because they themselves have internalized a lot of the misogyny. I mean, they'll say to you, listen, oh, you know, how can, you're not going to wife a man that way. Listen, do you think prim and proper wifes a man still? Listen, even though prim and proper don't wife a man. Now, is there a standard? I can say there probably is, but that's my standard. But let's be honest and truthful. Hosea married a prostitute, my guy. You understand? Now, obviously she was prostituting, but the truth of the matter is, he married a prostitute. Anybody can get married out here, my G. Ain't nothing difficult. You know, film. Alright, let's continue. Cardi confided in friends that she was tired of his non-stop cheating. It has been a problem in the relationship from the very beginning. She just couldn't take it anymore. The source further claimed that Cardi B is too good for this. She was constantly being hit up by women who would send her photos of her sexy text messages from Offset. These girls would claim they were hooking up with him. The last thing she needed to deal with while she's working and caring for daughter culture is babysitting him. This was a constant fight about cheating in the marriage, and according to those close to Cardi, the relationship became toxic. Now, let's just deep that. Let's just deep that. A man who calls himself a man has put his wife in a place where she has to consistently be questioning his behavior, to the point where you're now being called out basically for cheating again. And like I said, this becomes an abusive behavior, because when you consistently do it, and it gets to a point where obviously, yes, he may not want to try and hurt her, but you are hurting her. You understand? There's only so many times where I can slap you, I have to go to myself, you're intentionally slapping me. You know what I mean? Like, you have to deep it that your behavior is becoming abhorrent. Okay? It's becoming deplorable. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming to a place where it's not kind anymore. It's cruel. It's not a mistake anymore. It's vicious. It's violent. You know what I'm saying? And so what we're seeing with Offset is a failure to deal with oneself, a failure to be disciplined. And it's what the Bible says, we have a spirit that gives us love, power, and a sound mind. Understand that, listen, the many of us who are men in this world, if we don't have control over our loins and our groins and our balls, this is what happens. because you can't control what you do. You're being ruled. This is why the Bible says that, listen, we no longer, don't yield your bodies and members to sin. Rather, yield it to righteousness. What does that mean? It means don't become a slave to sin. I'm no longer a slave to sin. I am a child of God, because I am no longer. You know what I'm saying? So don't yield yourself to sin. But here we see Offset yielding himself to fornication. Or adulteress, I say, right? Sexting and actually cheating on her again. And eventually gets to a build-up point where Cardi's obviously going to explode. Now, this is how women end up on Women That Kill. You know what I'm saying? This is how, you know what I'm saying? Because cheating doesn't just break you emotionally. It traumatizes you. All right? And I want you to understand something. If, you tear a muscle, now imagine, just as it's repairing, you tear it again. Now imagine as you start to try and repair it again, it tears again. How painful would it be? Right? Now imagine that muscle is Cardi B. That's her heart. It said it takes 6 to 2 years to recover from a broken heart. Have you ever tried sleeping with a broken heart? I don't know the rest of the lyrics. Anyway, cool. So I want to deep it, that if it takes 6 to 24 months to heal a broken heart or to heal in a relationship from cheating, imagine he's been cheating consistently throughout the relationship in the 2017 to 2020. When have you recovered? I want you to deep this. When have you recovered? She's never been at her best. She couldn't be. She's been broken several times over. It gets to a point when you're broken so much, you become numb. Yeah? You become numb. And then you're unable to feel. Because that's the only way to stop the pain. That's the only way to stop the nerves telling the part of the body which has been torn over and over again that you are in consistent, deliberate, painful pain and anguish. And so what the body does and what the mind does and what the heart does is that in order to survive this crazy atmosphere at the moment, it has to protect itself. It shuts itself down. Do you feel me? So and that's why now Cardi B is signing for divorce. She's at shutdown point. She's had enough. You know what I mean? Cool. And then a friend said that if she ever confronted Offset with messages, he thought he could make amends by buying her expensive gifts. Anytime she had what she felt was proof, he would shower her with flowers, gifts, and jewelry and handbags. It was really ridiculous because that just doesn't fix the problem, the source said. Now I want to deep this. When a man gives you gifts instead of actually fixing the problem, we call it an undoing. You know, this is something that people do as a self-defense mechanism. But the truth of the matter is, it's manipulative. Yep. It's manipulative. Why? Because he's not addressing the issue. He's trying to buy you off. It's bribery. It's emotional bribery through physical means. It's emotional bribery through physical means. You buy material goods to bribe and pay off the person to stop snooping, to stop thinking the way they're thinking, to stop them feeling the way they're feeling. It's bribery. It is bribery. You're trying to buy the person off so they stop feeling the way they're feeling. Come on. Deep. That's why I said to you that cheating like this is so deep, and I would never wish it on anybody. So I don't understand why people may think to themselves that Cardi B may deserves it. Nobody deserves this level of behavior. Nobody. It is painful. It tears you from limb to limb. It tears you from heart to heart. It tears you from top to bottom. Do you feel me? And then also, obviously, her friends have been urging her to get out of this marriage. They just want the best for her. And let's face it, Cardi doesn't need handbags, jewelry from him because she can buy it herself. And that's the truth. You see, what even the method that even Offset is even using, buying expensive gifts, works up for a while. But the woman that you got can buy all those things. But necessarily, it's not the buying of the things that she's going to be concerned with. It's the fact that you bought it. So it means a lot. But the fact that you're buying gifts to buy her off is a problem, right? And it gets to a point, like I said, because also as well, she can afford to buy her own stuff, do her own thing, okay? All right? The tactic of buying her off will wear off probably more likely quicker than somebody who hasn't got those things, or hasn't got access to buy those things, or hasn't got the finances to have those things. So you've got to deep it. You've got to really deep it and say, hey, look, in this situation, no. My friend, listen, you can't buy me off. Okay? I know what I know and I saw what I saw. You must take accountability. And not only that, it's a form of gaslighting. Because he hasn't addressed the actual issue and just bought her gifts almost to ignore it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna make her feel like she's mad crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's nuts, bruv. It's nuts. You know, so you know, and I want to obviously just say this as well to obviously end it, kind of thing. Obviously, we know that Cardi B, obviously as well. You know, we know that Cardi B. Sorry. We know that Cardi B also as well that, you know, she made amends about the child culture. That she wants joint custody. She never wants any money. There's not anything specifically from him. She just wants a divorce. Now, anybody talking about being bitter, she could have tried to take him for the cleaners, right? But the truth of the matter is, that's not what she's about. She just wants to split amicably and get on with her life. And I think that's going to be the hardest thing to take for Offset, when he realizes that Cardi B can't be got back. So none more going onto stage and saying you're sorry. No more chasing her up. We don't see none of that. My friend, rest in peace. You understand? Rest, Sir Offset, in peace. It's not every day be on. Sometimes turn off. There's a real reason why relationships like this don't work, and it's because one party oftentimes is taking advantage of the other person's kindness. And so they're exploiting that weakness, what they see in their eyes as a weakness, and using it against them. Offset has been doing that for years now. And it's time that she packed up her bags and left. Guys, I don't know what you think. What do you feel about the situation? How do you feel about the situation? Let us know down below in the comments below. We appreciate you. We want to hear from you. More love. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. But the conversations need to happen. Like, you have to tell your wife or your husband what it is you like. Alright, let's say you're a virgin, you might not know what you like, but from the beginning you start, once you're involved in contest, you should have an idea, do you know what I mean, of what you like, and you have to communicate that to your husband, to your wife, try new things, experiment, all that sort of stuff.
You know what I've even found though, yeah? Or I've heard, yeah? Like, he's experienced. No, it's not experience. This is because what
trust me, these times.
You know what I heard? No. This is real life stories.